That was many years after we opened.
But it all started with our first wine tasting where we had some French guys come in here. This was cement floors.
Stacks of plywood over there that we covered with tablecloths.
And they thought it was absolutely fantastic. But that's how we started doing our wine tastings with Ted. And over the years, how many wines do you think we've had, Ted?
Oh, God.
I mean, we didn't, when I first started, Carol and I knew nothing about wines. We know that it tastes...
We did. We knew we liked it.
Well, yeah, I mean, a couple wines. But we literally tasted hundreds and hundreds of wines.
Oh, yeah.
So when someone comes and say, hey, what do you think about this? Right now, we can tell them exactly what we think because we've either tasted or we know about the kind of wine. But Ted's always been there for us. He's always been helping us through the thick and the thin of it. When we've had hard times, he said, hey, what can I do to help out? Hey, do you want me to show up and do some stuff for you? Even when he retires, he said, I've got time. He needs me to help do some things around there. I said, well, you want to do dishes? I'm not doing that.
Good point.
Ted's been there, and we so much appreciate everything you've done for us, Ted. Thank you so much.
So Ted.
Though that the wine tastings were made very special because of all the wonderful appetizer type things that Ted would or Carol would fix with our wine tastings. So we might be tasting, 10 wines, but we had platters of, and Ted and I would go, well, that's dinner. So thank you, Carol and Bill, for all the good times you've given us when we've done just plain old ordinary wine tasting. Yeah, we're going to Bill and Carol's for a wine tasting.
Ted before, because Jeff had gone to church and he ran into this guy. He says, I know this guy, he's just retired from AT&T or something. He knows a lot about wine, you ought to talk to him. Well, we get that all the time. People asking and talking about, oh, I know wine, I know this. So Jeff met with Ted and he said, Reed, I think you ought to meet this guy. So we met at a Hardee's restaurant. We sat down, we probably had a cup of coffee and sat down, and I listened to Ted, and I heard about his story of walking door to door, basically, for this guy from St. Louis and selling wine to people. And it's like, wow, this guy knows his stuff. And it was something that we were really lacking. We had a lot of salespeople, but we didn't have a lot of sales knowledgeable people. And I never regretted the day that we hired Ted Fuehne. If we would have hired more Ted Fuehnes, I could have retired long before Ted.
He would have let you.
Ted, it was the best hire that we ever made, and Jeff feels the same way, and he's heartbroken that he can't be here tonight. But Kirk and I are really excited that we could be here tonight, and thank you for all the things that you did for us.
Goes that back in 1986, I started dating Dave Hawthorne's daughter, and we lasted about 4 months. But Ted and Dave lasted a real long time. And Dave, I know you're getting ready to eat something there, but I want you to share just kind of what, to everybody, what kept your friendship and why almost 30 years now you guys are still best friends and,
Are you sure you want me to do
yes. All those bike rides out in the country and,
I'm really prepared for this. First of all, I have to say, if you would have found more than one of him, could you have managed?
Really not crazy.
Touche. Yeah, well, we met, I was working.
On wood.
I was building some cabinets in my garage.
Right.
When I first met Ted. And he came in and acted kind of like he knew what I was doing. He didn't really, but But we kind of struck up a friendship, and I happened to have a bicycle sitting over in the corner.
Yes.
It was a racing bicycle built for 2 people. And it was a serious bicycle.
Yes.
It was worth lots of money. And I had a partner who had, I hate to say it, but it kind of developed a little bit of a ticker problem. So he had to quit riding. And we would get up in the morning and ride 100 miles and come home and then mow the yard, that kind of stuff.
Right.
100 miles was not. I remember that. Great River Road, we rode from Alton to Hannibal in one day. And then kept going to, well, you're going to Denver, right? We kept going to Denver, that's what the race was. Turned around in Denver and came home, and my bike won. My bike won that race. There were 129 bikes in that race. I mean, that was with my old partner, and then Ted said, well, that sounds kind of fun. I said, well, there's a ride coming up here in a couple months, so why don't we kind of train for that a little bit? Remember that 150-mile loop?
yes.
It went down to Sparta. and all that.
Coltonville, yes.
So we jumped on the bike and we did that, what did we do?
9 hours.
Yeah, 9 hours? A little bit less than 9
A little less
hours.
than 9 hours.
I remember right. Yeah, we did pretty well on that trip. It was hot. It was a 97-degree humid day. But we made it. And
Yep.
the wine tasted good.
After.
Even then, the
After.
wine tasted good.
After.
But we, years and years and years, we have kind of stuck together with the things that we've been doing. And
Wine was involved with, of course.
wine
we both
seemed to have been
enjoyed
involved in a
it.
lot of that. Yeah.
Right, it was.
Horses and.
But biking, we had divorces involved in it also, but really it was just, it's a friendship that you don't see each other sometimes, but yet it's still the same as you had left. Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun with the biking thing. And
It was.
The wine came about, and even since then, the kids have grown.
Yeah.
But that's like chapter 3, right there. The
Chapter
kids
3 it
and
is.
all that
It is
goes on
chapter
with them.
Did Ted help you finish building your cabinets?
I have to say this, they did order some furniture from.
We're both affiliated with the hospital in some way, shape, or form, and Patty's a doctor there, and was on the board. But anyway, it's immaterial. But anyway, we have a fundraiser each year. It's called Valentine Gala, and Ted and Priscilla have volunteered to have a wine. Priscilla Matthews, who used to be or still is at Dearborn, I guess. Many of you probably know her. But anyway, she's from Hillsborough, so Ted and Priscilla would have a wine pairing and a food pairing, whatever you want to call it officially, and at somebody's house. And we used to put it on auction. And there are several couples that Patty and I are affiliated with us. We mess around with it anyway, and we would always volunteer to bid. We, agree ahead of time what this is what we're going to bid on. It was on an auction, live auction. And in a couple of years, somebody else would outbid us.
Yes.
And I think the last time somebody outbid us, Ted and Priscilla both came and says, if they have a chance to get it again, we're not going to do it because there's no fun at their house. I don't even know all the particulars, but there's no fun. Not anybody.
I didn't use a bottle of wine for the whole name for each wine. It didn't work.
So anyway, we've gotten to the point now where the 5 couples, four other couples and I, Patty and I, we just each throw in $300. So it's a $1,500 donation to the hospital. It does not get on the live auction. Ted and Priscilla come and do the wine food pairing at one of our houses. And last year was at my house. A couple months ago it was at my house. But anyway, the people there all just love to hear Ted come and talk about wines, as Bill was saying. I mean, we don't know anything about wines relative, very little except how it tastes. And Ted comes and he can explain everything. And the people, the group that we're with, just look forward to Ted, and they can't wait for Ted to come and tell us about the wines. He comes in carrying a couple cases of wine all the time. So, and it's not, as Ted, as you all know, when Ted's got wine, it's good wine. So they all.
Ted's got wine, everybody's got wine.
Boy, that's true.
Here, here.
Anyway, that's what we went publicly. Thank you for that, because it's a great. The hospital really benefits from it because they get a tiny chunk from that, and of course it's not up for auction anymore. So
It's behind the scenes auction.
behind the scenes auction.
I got one more thing real fast. We talked about growing up and everything. Now, this man knew, when I was a kid, he had his own wine press. He was making his own wine barrels and all stuff. I remember one time we went to, I think it was Herman, Missouri. It's probably 90-some degrees, and we're getting grapes to make press. So I'm a little kid now, probably 9, 10, 11, some of that area. And, road trips, you got to stop at McDonald's. So we're going along and we're going through Pacific. Dad, I'm hungry. You know, we got this LTD with these bushel baskets of grapes. No air conditioning going. You know, it's 90-some degrees outside. So we stopped McDonald's. Well, of course, you got to roll the windows up and everything. And so we get back in the car and say, oh man, we got to get back home. They're fermenting already. Every speed limit going through St. Louis. And that night, he was pressing those grapes already. I'm telling you, that man, he was dedicated to his pressing. And there were several times, and I share this because it's comical now, but there were several times when I called down, Dad, time for dinner! And he wasn't coming up. Because he was siphoning wine and had a little too much siphoning. So he loved his wine back then, and still does.
Okay.
You say that?
Zinfandel with ice. And we go out to eat, and I'd get my glass of white Zinfandel with ice in it, and he'd get his glass of red wine. And I don't, as most of you know, I don't drink a whole lot, but I would be halfway finished with my glass of white Zinfandel with ice, and I'd try to palm it off on him, and he didn't want any part of it. I don't know how long it took me to realize that, well, wait a minute, if you get red wine, you can share it with him. So we eventually made the transition where I started getting red wine too. And to this day, if we're not with other people that drink a lot of wine, we will get 2 glasses of red wine and we play switcheroo. So I end up with my half glass of wine and he gets his glass and a half of wine. So that's just one of many wine stories. This man has such an amazing palate. We've been on cruises. In the early days, they didn't let you keep a bottle of wine and bring it back to the next meal. So we were getting a glass of wine each. And we were on this one cruise one time. We each got our glass of red wine. This was after we were married. And I'm sipping mine a little bit, and he does the switcheroo. And he says, that wine is tainted. It's old. You know. It says to the waiter, how long has this been open? And, well, I don't know, they said they didn't know. They went and got him another glass of wine, and that one was fine. The next night, we went to dinner. Totally different wine. Each got a different glass of wine. I drank my little bit, switched it with him. This wine is tainted. It was old. And they brought him a new glass of wine. By the third night, they had opened up a fresh bottle of wine. Just so that he wouldn't. And he had to tell people, you know, by then he didn't have his CSW. He had his CSW at the time, and he had to tell people that he was he knew his wines because, but anyhow, he has indoctrinated me on wine, so.
No one else on the ship had a clue, probably.
Nobody has a clue.
They weren't that bad, just enough to go over the limit.
Yeah.
But now I don't even like white wine anymore, so that's my wine story.
Okay, Ted, you have to talk.
I have to follow all this. How do I follow all this? That's hard. Thank y'all for coming. I mean, I didn't anticipate this. It was a true surprise. It was. Thank you, Reed, for coming from Mount Vernon. I really mean that. It's not just right around the corner either, so thank you very much for coming. And thank Dave. That's not right around the corner. All these guys out there in Davisville, everybody else, thank you for coming. It's been an enjoyable evening. How do you follow up all this? But thank you all. But I have to follow up one person that's been the cornerstone of my life. All the articles you see on the Crystal Garden Wine Society, they're pretty good, aren't they? They're pretty good for one reason, right here. She's been the cornerstone of my life for the last 24 years. Without her, I would not have been here. I would not have been in my job with her. I don't know computers. She does. I can talk to you all day about wine. I really can. I can do it if I have to. Not even if I have to, I can do it. But when I'm going to put it down on paper, she puts it down on paper. She puts it down on paper for me. She's fantastic. So what more can I say? It's just thank y'all for coming. It's been a great evening. I didn't anticipate this. I mean, really.
Son still doesn't listen to you, does he?
What?
Son still doesn't listen to you.
Sure, he does. He does listen to me. No, he does. But thank you very much.
Part of it.
My ex-brother-in-law came from Kansas City, so.
Yeah, there you go,
We
Ryan.
love you, Ted.
Thank you. Yeah.